We have your Week 16 waiver wire pickups for you today, and this is going to be our last waiver wire video of the fantasy football season. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching and supporting all season long. Hopefully, we've been able to help you make it to the playoffs and hopefully take home a fantasy championship this season. But let's get into these waivers, and starting off, we have running back for the Indianapolis Colts, Deion Jackson. And with Jonathan Taylor placed on the IR due to a high ankle sprain, Deion Jackson will likely lead the Colts backfield with Zach Moss also getting involved, but I do give the edge to Deion Jackson. We've seen earlier this season when Jonathan Taylor was out of the lineup, Deion Jackson be effective on the ground, and they have a great matchup this week against the LA Chargers, which has been a great spot for running backs this season. So if you have a need for a running back, Deion Jackson should be someone you're targeting this week. Next, we have running back for the Atlanta Falcons, Tyler Algier, and with Caleb Huntley being placed on the IR after suffering an Achilles injury this past week, Tyler Algier and Cordell Patterson will handle the workload for the Atlanta Falcons for the remainder of the season. This past week, Tyler Algier had 17 carries on the ground for 139 yards and a touchdown. I think you can feel pretty confident in his workload going forward with Caleb Huntley out of the lineup. I do expect it to be split carries between Tyler Algier and Cordell Patterson, but I do give the edge to Tyler Algier. So if you have a need for a running back, Tyler Algier may be someone you want to take a look at. Next, we have wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Russell Gage, and if Julio Jones continues to miss some time, I think Russell Gage is a wide receiver that you could take some shots on. This past week, he had 12 targets, 8 receptions for 59 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He also caught a touchdown the week before in week 14. So I think if Julio Jones continues to be out of the lineup, Russell Gage is someone that you could take a look at in fantasy. So if you have a need for a wide receiver, go see if Russell Gage is available. Next, we have wide receiver for the Houston Texans, Chris Moore, and with Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins out of the lineup, we've seen Chris Moore step up in this offense. He's seen 11 and 9 targets over the past 2 weeks, and if Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins continues to be out of the lineup, I assume that he's going to continue to see those kind of looks, and if that's going to be the case, there is fantasy value there. So if you are struggling at the wide receiver position, Chris Moore is someone that you may want to take a look at this week. Next, we have tight end for the Saints, Juwan Johnson, and he just continues to get targeted in the red zone. He caught 2 touchdowns this past week, 4 receptions for 67 yards, and I think if you're struggling at the tight end position, Juwan Johnson is one of the better tight ends available throughout leagues out there. He's only around 15% rostered throughout leagues, so if you're struggling at the tight end position, Juwan Johnson may be someone you want to take a look at. We have our quarterback of the week, Daniel Jones, going up against the Minnesota Vikings, and this Vikings defense has not looked that good this season, and I think in this spot we could see Daniel Jones run the ball a lot more to keep in this game with the Vikings. This Vikings offense can put points up, so that means Daniel Jones is going to need to put points up on the board, and we could see him run the ball a lot in this spot, which we love for fantasy. So Daniel Jones is my favorite streaming option this week. We have our defense of the week, the Detroit Lions, going up against the Carolina Panthers, and who would have thought I would be saying the Detroit Lions is a good defense to play, but the Carolina Panthers last week allowed 4 sacks on Sam Darnold to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this Detroit Lions defense has only gotten a lot better over the past few weeks, getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and I think they're going to be able to get to Sam Darnold in the spot, so the Detroit Lions are my defense of the week. But that's going to do it for us today. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, line 'em up!